Hello everyone, welcome to the CFS 6 months look ahead for March. As the name implies, we're going to go 6 months ahead with the CFS V2 model to see what the model is showing for the next 6 months. Now, this is going to take us from next month, from April right way through the summer into the start of autumn, going up to September with this particular update. Now, as I always have to say, with the CFS 6 months look ahead videos and the Can 6 one that we also do with the Canadian model, it's just for fun. It's not to be relied upon. We're going to look at one model in isolation and extend it out over a very, very long time frame, 6 months. So, of course, the charts are there, so you might as well use them, but don't take it too seriously. If you see charts, well, you will see charts in this video for sort of July, August, September. Don't take those charts to heart. It's just what the model is showing this month. But again, it's not by any means a certainty that anything that you see in this video is going to come off, especially for those months that are in the extended range. We started a competition at Gazworth around 30 minutes ago, so I'll talk you through all the detail on that in a second. But before I get on with all of that, just to say about the ads at Gazworth, there's links to articles on all the pages. Have a browse through widgets and click through the links if there's any articles that you're interested in. And thanks very much for doing that. The video ads on most of the pages. They open up the content when you watch them and close back up again. It's helping to pay for the website. So thanks so much to everybody for getting involved. And the ads are really just a means to an end, really, to allow me to have Gazworth, is to earn a revenue from that I can then pump back into the website, and it can pay for the website, help sustain the website, because as we grow, we need more bandwidth and all of that kind of thing. I need to do more work on the website to keep us going as we're growing. Excuse me, as you know, we've had over 100,000 page views for many months over the past few months. Things are falling back a little bit now, as they always do during the spring. But things get really big in terms of the website through the second half of the year, around the autumn-winter period. And all of the ads are helping to pay for the website. It means we don't have to worry about subscriptions or anything like that. So thanks so much for engaging with those advertisements. And as a bit of a thank you to all of you for your support of the website over the past few months and past years, really, as I started the website in 2012. I like to do these competitions. We've done 2 competitions over the past couple of years. First one was in 2014. The second one was last year. We've got a third competition just started today. So I just want to mention this very, very quickly. We're giving away a digital thermometer. This is it. This is the prize that we're giving away. It's worth, how much is it worth? It's worth quite a bit of money, £25.50. So it's a lovely prize. And we've teamed up in association with metcheck.co.uk weather instrumentation. There's Metcheck's logo, and actually we can go through to their website. This is Metcheck weather instrumentation. So we've teamed up with Metcheck to give away this prize. As I say, it's worth £25.50. It's a prize draw, so you don't have to do anything particularly difficult with this. You're not going to answer a question or anything like that. You just got to email your details to gazweathervids@gmail.com and subject a prize draw, something like that, and then just have your name and address. We need your name and address so that we know who to post it, who to post the prize out to, basically. So your name and address in the email. That's what you have to do. You go into a prize draw a week today, Easter Sunday, around 7 o'clock in the evening, on this page. The competitions page, somebody will win that prize, but you've got to be in it to win it. So if you want to know all the details on that, anyway, it's on this page. It's gazworthvids.com/competitions.bhp. You can get the link to it from the links page, and that'll talk you through everything that you've got to do to win the competition. But it's not difficult at all. So have a look at that when you finish with CFS 6 months look ahead. Right, let's just get on then with the CFS 6 month look ahead. So we're going to start off with 500 millibar height anomaly charts. As you know, we always do that, and then we'll have a look at the corresponding temperature and precipitation anomalies that go with it. As you know, with 500 millibar heights, blue is extrapolating to low pressure, and yellow, orange, red, those brighter colours, extrapolates to high pressure. So I'm going to start off with the anomaly for April. And, well, this is it. This is what it's predicting for April. Of course, this is only a month away, so in theory, this should be the most reliable part of the 6 months look ahead. Should be the month that is just 1 month away. And this is what it's going for. And it looks a bit grim, doesn't it? We've got a deep trough of low pressure there sitting just around and to the west of the UK. We've got some ridging up to the north, never a particularly good sign to have high pressure up there. The jet stream's on a southerly track, so that looks a bit grim really for April. That's a very unsettled looking month. This is a deep trough of low pressure. It would be an unsettled month. The jet stream is to the south of us, so it would be cool as well. Below average temperatures probable here. And the main thing, though, is quite a lot of rain coming in off the Atlantic, I would have thought, with that trough of low pressure. So not a great starting point. We go through to May, and things do look a little bit better in May. That trough is lifting out towards the west, so it's going more towards to the south of Greenland. And we've got this ridge building up from the southwest, from the Azores. So it could still be unsettled. I think it'll probably still bring the jet stream through a little bit like that. But the jet stream is going to the north of the country slightly. So I think it's a warmer month. It's probably a dry month, particularly so, of course, close to this ridging down here. So for the south and the southwest, it's probably not too bad a month. There could be a fair amount of dry weather there. More unsettled in the north. I think temperatures do stage a recovery. But compared to April, I think May does show a significant improvement. This is how June is looking. Now we're 3 months ahead with this, so the confidence in this is falling away rather rapidly. The further out we go, and the more reliable it's getting. For June, we've got we've got quite an Atlantic-driven signal here. This is quite unusual for June, actually, because it tends to have a lot of ridging to the east and the northeast. But this one is showing the jet stream really coming through the country. So I've got a bit of a June monsoon going on here. Some years you can get quite a wet pattern set up in June. It's regarded as the return of the westerlies, which can produce quite an unsettled month. The ridging is down to the south and the southwest. I'm not sure how impactful it is, though, really. I do think this trough looks unusually deep around Greenland and Iceland for June, and I think the jet stream is probably coming through the country. We'll have a look at the temperature and precipitation anomalies that go with this anyway in a second, but my interpretation will be quite an unsettled month there for June. What about July and the middle month of the summer? Not looking great. We're 4 months out, so we're getting to around with just the thumb, but it doesn't look great. We've got the ridge again out in the central part of the Atlantic, not really able to do a great deal for us. Trough of low pressure, and usually deep to the north and west, and a jet stream more or less coming through the country. So this is another unsettled month, probably not quite as Atlantic driven as June. I think the jet stream is probably a bit weaker, but there's a trough being signalled there more or less over or around the UK, so it's not going to be a classic July by any means in terms of heat and dry weather. And then we go through to August, 5 months away now, so again, I have to emphasise it's very unreliable, this, but once again, it's an Atlantic sealed trough of low pressure east to the northwest. If CFS V2 is right, this trough that's around and slightly to the west of the country is an omnipresent feature throughout the summer. It's there in June with quite a strong westerly flow. It's there as a more static feature within the 700 millibar height, within 700 millibar heights in July, and it's still there within 700 millibar heights in August. The ridge, again, it's down to the south and the southwest, not really able to do much. The difference for August that we do build up some ridging across Scandinavia, so maybe it's a warmer month perhaps with some ridging up there. It means that the jet stream might do something like that and start to drag up some warmer air from the south and the southwest. If we do that, because the trough of low pressure is just out west of us, so if we was to drag up that warmth, it would be very unstable, probably producing a lot of heavy rain and thunder, but it could be a warmer month in August with that ridge towards Scandinavia. And then we end up 6 months away for September. Now, September is normally one of our driest months of the year, along with March. February, March, and September, they're the three that really tend to be the driest months of all of the months of the year. But if this is right, again, 6 months away, so we are in the realm of just the thumb. This isn't to be taken seriously at all. But if this was to be right, we'd have an unsettled September with low pressure again to the west and the north, the jet stream again coming through the country, a bit like that. And it just goes on, really. This goes on and on and on. May looks a bit better after a very unsettled April. May does look a bit better. But then June, July, August, September, they all look unsettled. They all have troughs of low pressure around the country. They're all Atlantic driven. So, not a great 4 months, I have to say, through the summer period, based on the 700 millibar heights. Is that right, though? Is my interpretation correct? Let's see what the temperatures are doing. So this is a temperature anomaly for April, and I did think April could be quite a cool month because we've got a trough of low pressure in this sort of area, a deep trough as well, and it means that jet stream's doing something like that. So we've got a trough within the 700 millibar flow, and the jet streams to the south. Actually, the model isn't as bad as I was fearing in terms of the temperatures, because we're only near norm, but quite clearly the west of Europe is significantly cooler compared to the central and eastern parts where it's warm. So whilst it's not a particularly cold signal really for April in the west of Europe, it certainly is cooler compared to central and east parts. And I would suspect, given the pattern, we'd probably end up a bit colder than average. May, which I thought looked a little bit better, because remember for May what's happening is that got some ridging down here, and the trough of low pressure is being pushed back into this sort of area, which I thought could start to move up some warmer air from that kind of direction, perhaps bring some warmer air up from the southwest. So I thought May could be a warmer month, but actually again it just comes out with average temperatures. And then June, which is very Atlantic driven, so got low pressure around here and got high pressure down here, and we're bringing the jet stream probably through the country on a flat westerly flow like that. June is looking generally average to a little bit cooler than average. You expect that in an Atlantic driven and unsettled pattern for June. July, look at this, significantly cooler than average there for July. Again, what's happening is that there's a trough of low pressure in the 700 millibar flow. Jet stream going to the south of the country like that. So a cooler than average month being signalled for July. We go through to August. That comes out cooler than average as well. Looks a pretty grim summer, doesn't it? Based on this. So June, July, August, all hinting at being cooler than average. And then we finish up. It's 6 months away, so just for fun. But we finish up in September. Again, no signal for anything particularly warm. It's average. A few little splotches of blue just indicating the chance of a little bit cooler than average perhaps. But again, no signal here on any of these months. It's really remarkable when you think how warm it's been over the past few months, particularly at the end of 2015 into the start of this year. When you think how warm it's been, there's no signal on any of these months from April right through to September, no signal for significantly milder than average conditions. That would be quite remarkable given how warm it's been. And then the precipitation, so April, that looks wetter than average. You would expect it, of course, because there's a deep trough of low pressure around the UK, and the jet stream's on a southerly track as well, so you expect a wetter than average month in April. That is what the model predicts. We go through to May. Now this does show an improvement for May. It's not great, but it isn't anywhere near as wet an anomaly as April is. And the reason is that I've got this ridging down to the south. That's indicated by these dry and average conditions for Spain and Portugal. That's just exerting a bit more of an influence in that sort of direction. So whilst it still is relatively unsettled, and I think it would be particularly so for the north and west, it isn't as wet as April is signalled to be. Go through to June, that's coming out generally average to wetter than average in June. Remember, we're probably bringing the jet stream through the country like that. We have got ridging down to the south, so excuse me, for France and Spain and Portugal, we've got high pressure down there, but it's not able to do a great deal for us. We come out with an unsettled wetter than average month in June. July, look at this again, trough of low pressures around the UK, so we come out with a wetter than average anomaly in July. August rounds it off of the summer, very, very grim summer, if this is right, with August coming out wetter than average as well, unfortunately. And then September, it just goes on. This would be a real deluge of a summer. September, it goes on. In fact, the anomaly for above average precipitation just strengthens in September. That was a very, very wet month in September. Again, the reason it's happening is that there's all these areas of low pressure in the Atlantic and the jet stream coming through the country like that. So it isn't great, I have to say. I'm sure you've got that idea now. It starts in April with really quite a cool, wet, unsettled, low-pressure dominated month. May shows a little bit of an improvement, but even that's nothing to write home about, just a bit better than April. And then these summer months, June, July, August, and even into the start of the autumn in September, which is usually just about our driest month of the year, it just looks like a bit of a deluge, I'm afraid. It would be a pretty grim summer, I have to say, if it came off like this. Now, the saving grace for all of this is that it's just one model. It's a snapshot of one model, what it's showing this month. It is subject to change, this model. It does chop and change around quite a lot. So it's just for fun, and it's just for amusement purposes. It's nothing to be too despondent about. If you would like a hot summer or a dry summer, don't be too despairing at this stage. But it's a heads up, and that's what the model is suggesting for this month. I can't do anything other than interpret the model output. And that's it. Pretty grim summer being indicated by this month's CFS 6 months look ahead. We'll do it all over again next month when it may show something completely different. So we'll do it again in April. Don't forget to enter the competition prize draw to win that fabulous thermometer worth 25 quid. And that's all for now. Thanks for watching.